Kaitlyn.
And I'm Kiersa.
And welcome to KK News.
You've joined us for our special economics hour. Today we're going to talk about several different economic current events within our country and internationally. The first event we are talking about today is one that many of you are probably familiar with. Egypt Air Flight 804 crashed in the Mediterranean Sea, killing 66 people that were traveling from Paris to Cairo. Although the cause of the crash isn't officially known, many are suspecting it as an act of terrorism. It was discovered that an automated system sent messages indicating smoke was detected in multiple spots minutes before the crash. Egypt's top civil aviation official has said terrorism was a more likely cause of crash than technical failure. If this is the case, it would be the third attack on Egyptian aviation in 6 months. This raises further concerns about security in the country's airports and will likely deter tourists. Tourism plays a huge role in Egypt's economy, accounting for around 11% of GDP and supports about 11% of all jobs in the country. Since the terrorist attack on the Egyptian plane in November, international travel has dropped by 5% and travel from Europe by 18%. There is no recovery in sight.
As we are all nearing adulthood and beginning to make our own financial decisions, we figured a piece on our growing credit card debt would be fitting. Credit card debt balances are poised to hit $1 trillion this year, coming close to pre-recession levels. Thanks to aggressive credit card pushing by banks and growing consumer confidence, this year's sum falls just shy of an all-time peak of $1.2 trillion in July 2008. Creditworthy consumers being less hesitant to take on our debt as economic conditions have steadied the job market improved. Lenders have also been issuing credit to subprime consumers who were previously unable to qualify for credit. Banks and credit card companies are continuing to push the sales to raise profit margins in one of their more profitable sectors after low interest rates returns on lending and stock trading profits were dampened by stricter regulation of volatile markets.
There's no doubt that this current election has been a confusing one. Now that Donald Trump is the official Republican candidate, we've decided we'd give you a few notes on why the controversial candidate would be a good fit for America. First of all, he is fearless and far from afraid to speak his mind. He chooses to not beat around the bush, and he will put people in their place. He's a fresh face to politics. He's not a career politician who says whatever people want to hear. Of the original 16 Republican candidates, all but 3 of them have been senators or governors. He's been a businessman his whole life. You don't become and remain a billionaire without intuition and diplomacy. His nature and success encourages natural respect from those around him. At Trump presidential events, the audience speaks to him without being screened, and he responds without a teleprompter. With an IQ of 157, his knowledge of contracts and negotiating is brilliant.
Consumer prices rose at their fastest pace this past April. On Tuesday, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported its Consumer Price Index. It climbed 0.4% to mark the largest expansion since February 2013. Gains were led largely by a rebound in gas prices, which were up 8.1% from March. One strong month for gas prices, though, is unlikely to motivate the Fed to raise interest rates all by itself. Officials have been restricted from raising rates in part by a lack of meaningful inflationary pressures. And although Tuesday's report serves up evidence that the economy is taking more steps in the right direction, it's unlikely the Fed will make a major policy adjustment just because oil prices rebounded.
For years, America's college campuses grew with more and more students. Enrollment peaked in 2010 at just over 21 million students. Attendance has dropped every year since. The fall of 2014 brings the most recent government data, showing 812,069 fewer students walking around college campuses. People say it's happening because the economy is improving. More people are going back to work instead of signing up for additional degrees. The U.S. Undersecretary of Education, Ted Mitchell, says historically, as the economy improves and Americans get back to work, college enrollment declines. College graduates make almost double the salary of workers with only a high school diploma. If you care about the rise in inequality in America, declining college enrollment should alarm you. Last year, President Obama said that a college degree is the surest ticket to the middle class. Now, there are 800,000 fewer Americans on that college path to the middle class.
That's all we have time for tonight. We thank you for joining us for our segment on economics and hope you enjoyed the viewing.
We'll see you next week for our special on the presidential election.